On this episode of Breaking Ground, we're going to show you a remodel that involves not one, not two, but three different types of siding. Check it out. Arnold Lumber has been a partner of New England builders and homeowners for over 100 years. Our goal is to elevate projects to their highest potential through top quality product solutions and above and beyond service on all projects from start to finish. Now, we're teaming up with industry leaders and the area's best builders to give you insights on the latest material technologies, best practices, and unique projects. This is Breaking Ground. Hey folks, Tom with Arnold Lumber here with another episode of Breaking Ground. Today we're back on the job site in Wakefield, Rhode Island with decks by Jalex. In this remodel, we're going to show you three different types of siding on this project. Tando siding, Azek board and batten siding, and a unique application of TimberTech decking as siding. Now in this application, we'll be letting you see how Benjamin Obdyke allowed us with their InvisiWrap to create a unique water management solution behind that decking, which is actually siding. There's a lot to talk about in this episode. Let's not waste any more time. Come on and check it out. All right, Ray, on this side of the house, I can see you've got things started. We've got the wrap. You've even started on the siding. You've got a window prep. Tell us what's going on over here on this side of the house.
Three sides of this house is wrapped with HydroGap SA. And we use it as a drainable house wrap. No staples, no rips, no tears. We peel it and stick it to the house so that this drainage plane, any water that gets behind this Tando vinyl siding will come and drain right out the bottom.
So Scott, with this system with HydroGap, how does that go on? What are the advantages of using the HydroGap SA versus just the standard wrap?
So there's really three main advantages for using a peel and stick membrane. One is for the new energy codes and it's air sealing. You're gonna hear a lot of people talking about that as air sealing. It's easier to air seal a house from the outside than it is from the inside. So using a peel and stick membrane is a great way to do that. The other benefit about my product is that we use a full spread of acrylic adhesive on the back. The more adhesive, the better stick. It also lays a lot flatter, a lot less wrinkles, a lot less bubbling. And then the third are these drainage dots that you see right here. Those spacers hold the siding off just enough to let any water that gets behind there to drain 2 or 3 times faster than other competitive products.
So we have a little bit of a gap between the siding and the actual wrap material itself. So it goes on just like if I was going to duct tape the house. I have a roll, I peel it down and I stick it there.
So you have to, there's a release liner on the back of the roll that you peel off, and as you're putting it on, what I usually use is a scrub brush to apply pressure to it. If you used a roller, you're really just gonna hit the spacers and not so much the field. So I like to use a scrub brush, or we have these white applicators that you can use to apply pressure. That's what activates the adhesive. That's what's gonna get it to stick properly.
I can see that getting cumbersome and, oh man, I stuck it here, now I got a wrinkle. Am I able to lift it up a little bit and put it back down, or am I stuck once it's stuck?
I'm really glad you asked that question. Okay. So the acrylic adhesive is a lot more forgiving than the other adhesives that we're used to using when building homes. So the acrylic adhesive does give you a chance to pop it back off, pull out that wrinkle, and get it on nice and flat.
This looks like the side of this house is done and sealed up nice. Can we take a look at the front of the house then? Because I saw on my way in, we've got a different cladding and a different system on the front. Now, why 2 different sidings, Ray, on the house instead of using the same thing all around?
What a lot of people have started using is it's called open cladding. So with open cladding, there's actually a gap. This is actually TimberTech English walnut decking. You can see where it's fastened in here with a Cortex screw.
Sure. And
then plugged up for looks. You can't use this on SA because if we screwed this through it, it would actually eliminate the drainage plane.
So in layman's terms, those little bumps would get crushed.
By the screw force.
The material to the face
and eliminate any drainage plane that we had.
Okay, got it. So we couldn't use the HydroGap SA on the front here in the same way we did with the Tando, which is just getting applied to the surface and not screwed to compress.
This whole system is needed to keep this space.
Because we don't have those raised bumps on the surface of the material.
This is a complete Benjamin Obdyke system between the wrap, the plastic spacing, and then the flat wrap around the window, because we can't use the white because you would still see that.
In general, how is this system different from using the SA that we used on the other side, and why each attribute of the wrap and the channels that I'm seeing in these essentially fairing strips almost?
Yeah, so a little bit different of a system here. The InvisiWrap UV house wrap is UV stable, and which means it can be exposed for a year before it has to be covered up. The UV battens allow you for your rain screen, which allows airflow and drainage. So a lot of people, when they think open joint cladding, I'm gonna get bugs in there, I'm gonna get, but they don't like it because it actually is a lot drier than it is on normal house wraps, which are holding moisture in here. Air is circulating through here. Any moisture that gets behind here now has the ability to dry. As soon as the wind blows like it is today, it dries everything out, and critters don't like that. The third component is our HydroFlash UV tape. Right. So we have a flashing tape, the UV batten, and the InvisiWrap. Those three products, that's our system, all UV stable. The details that they did here are perfect. You have to be really careful with open joint cladding, because essentially you're letting all the weather into behind your cladding on purpose. You got to make sure you're using high quality products.
Got it. It's good to know though that if we're using a different approach to siding, that there are different solutions to make sure that the house is well protected from moisture and air and sealed up nice.
Just so you can understand why we do these things.
Yeah.
So when it does rain and it gets on the siding, you see how it comes right behind the foundation?
Shoots right through.
So that's your drainage plane. Mm-hmm. Whenever we do this.
There's no opportunity for that water to get stuck back there.
No, and by keeping the space, even though you'll have your water here, the air will then come through and dry it out, and there's no mold growing, there's no moisture growing, there's no moisture sitting here for any growth of anything.
Got it. Even the batten strips are each raised individually.
Right. I mean, if you actually pour it in the batten strip, it'll follow that one line because it has all its own little drain grooves.
It's guiding it right out from the back.
Right out from the back.
Super cool. I love it. All right, John, tell us a little bit about this particular piece of Tando siding that's going on here. Can you just give us a quick briefing on what's going up on this house?
Sure. What we have here is Tando Shake, which is called our Rough Sawn Dual. The basic features of this product are that we're going to get about a 57-inch long panel that's dual course, goes up very, very simply and quickly. And what it does is it gives us a nice rich grain of an actually natural cedar looking type of a product.
I like the random widths of the shakes on it.
Yeah, so the different size shakes allow it to go up on the building and not let the keyways line up, but the real speed and the ease of installation of what you get out of this product. And obviously the maintenance is going to be much less than any wood products.
Cool. Just for frame of reference, if we were to just put regular cedar shingles on this house, we'd set up our guide strip, and then we'd be getting all of our shingles one at a time.
That's correct.
Even if you're using a nailing gun, you still got a lot of work to do there. What's the ballpark of the time savings?
So this is obviously going to be much, much faster. But one other point that you need to know is that we're also going to save money on fasteners, because each one of those shingles would need at least 2 fasteners.
Right,
so each one of these panels is going to get 7 fasteners for the actual whole 2 courses long.
Got it.
So the savings in that is tremendous.
How does it sit up here if you would take this piece and...
Yeah, so basically what happens is we have these tabs up on the top of this, and in the back of the panel we have a catch, and it simply goes up against the building and then rips up and catches.
Oh, it goes up.
It goes up
and
into
then
it and interlocks.
Here nice and snug.
And then we put our fasteners up on the top.
Got it. Do I need to be mindful of where these spaces land or anything like? It doesn't matter. Next course is the next course.
So typically what will happen is when we do have our first course go up, we'll take 8 inches off of this panel, and then we'll start it so that we don't have the keyways.
So every full panel after that will never line up directly with the one under it. Got it. Like other types of synthetic sidings, one of the nice things that we like is the maintenance is very different than cedar shingles.
Sure.
We're simply just going to power wash this.
So you won't even really need to power wash this product. Basically, the most that you'll ever need to do to maintain this product is usually with garden hose. The pressure from that should be more than sufficient. Yeah. Unlike a wood product, we can't have anything grow into this. Sure. There's no way for it to do that. So basically, it will be on the surface. It will be able to be washed right off with a garden hose.
Any type of warranty on a?
We do. We have a 10-year warranty on the product for the finish of the product to stay exactly the same. And the panel is a lifetime warranty on the actual panel.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's ever going to rot away on.
No, no, certainly not.
If I see this little nugget here, looks like some type of a corner.
We do. So we also make a corner. So our panels are 2 courses tall. Our corners are 4. Basically what happens is the corner, this is a little bit different. We have some J channel here, but if this was a corner, we would simply put this on first, and then the siding slips in onto the side right here.
And then just continue on
and
up.
you just continue out. So actually we put your all of your siding in, all your corners in all the way up, and then you would finish
Come
it
back
off with,
inside it.
Correct.
Got it. All right, well, I'm really looking forward to getting a look at this when this is all finished and up, but certainly is going to be a faster process. It'll be nice to get this all up there and get a good look at it when it's finished. Decks by Jalex, what's the slogan again?
We don't just do decks, we do it all.
But you still can't take the deck out of Jalex. So here we've got TimberTech decking as siding. And Ray, just real quick before Matt tells us some of the attributes of this, why are we putting a deck on the wall?
This client wants a much more modern look to their house, and it's supposed to be a mid-century modern look. This, while replicating wood, also gives it a totally different look with the open gaps. And it's also a much better warranty than trying to put clapboard or shingles on
You
this
just
house.
put wood on there, yeah.
Right.
Not to mention the host of other issues with an open wood product on your wall.
Correct.
And the application of it, is it the same as building a deck, only you're putting it up vertical pretty much? Or are there some other things you got to think about?
If you look like right here, we'll just move Matt for a second. If you look right here, this is a 2 3/4 deck screw, Cortex deck screw,
Okay.
Fasten Master.
Yep.
Every one of these strips is on a stud.
Okay.
We drive right through here, we drive through this, we drive through the plywood, we drive into the
Same
stud.
as if you were going into a joist
like
on
if we
a
were
deck.
going into a deck joist. And then when we're done, you look and you go, okay,
holes
where's the screws? And that's the look of it.
Yep.
And we left this dirty for a reason, because all I'm gonna show you is that's all you do to it. This as siding, rot proof, termite proof. So all this dirt, everything up here, regular wood would start rotting. It would invite animals into it. We don't have that worry.
Matt, how often do you see decking as siding? Is that a new trend? Has it been happening for a while, or?
So it absolutely positively has been happening for quite some time, especially out west.
Okay.
And that look is starting to integrate itself into New England, which is traditionally, you know, a clapboard, white trim market. That's changing and that's evolving. And if you look at this neighborhood, this house is going to stand out.
And how about using TimberTech decking instead of Azek siding in this application? Is there anything that we need to think about, or is what Ray is doing here is all you need to do is just make sure you've got some air behind it and fasten it to the wall?
Yeah, that is. So again, Decks by Jalex putting this onto the wall, right? This is a very, very similar application, right? We're going into the framing with the same screw in this particular case with the same plugs.
Got it.
What we're finding is this particular board, especially in the vintage collection, this is our advanced PVC on the TimberTech side of it. This is a very heavily recycled product. So environmentally, it's a really good option for this particular look. And then what we have is we have a very sustainable, very wood-looking product with very low maintenance. As Ray said, it's just cleaning it off occasionally rather than the maintenance of traditional wood, which would require annual staining and all of the maintenance.
There's never going to be a
associated
brush or a sprayer on this material. The material itself has recycled content in it,
Yes.
as well as it can then be recycled.
100%, right? So we are committed as a company to be more sustainable every day. And what you will find is the Azek company is the largest vertically integrated recycler of PVC in the country. And what we do is we take that recycled product, whether it's scraps from a job or old material, and we can regrind it and we can put it into a lot of products that you're gonna see on this house. In the case of our advanced PVC collection here with vintage, it's into the core of it. So we still have a cap that's going to give you the beautiful natural wood look that we have here, but the core of it's up to 65% recycled material and growing every day as we integrate that in.
It's great. Warranty?
Yes, so this has a limited lifetime warranty as a product. Whether it's this application or the hundreds of decks that Ray has done, it has a limited lifetime warranty, but it also has a 50-year fade and stain warranty. And that's really important, as you want that wood look on the wall of the house, but yet you don't get the maintenance that you're gonna have from other products that are out
50
there.
years, that's a nice warranty. We'll put this up, we'll hang it, we'll get our plugs in, which, man, I cannot even, you have to look super hard to even find where these holes disappear. This is gonna look real nice. Is there anything that we have to pay attention to as we dress up and get toward the trim of all this?
So butted up clean, the way this is fastened is gonna control that expansion and contraction significantly, right? Instead of other options on the decking with clipping, you don't have to worry about that.
Why don't we go take a look at some of the other siding that's happening? I think we've got a third option of siding that's happening.
A little Azek Exteriors board and batten is about to show up.
Let's go take a walk and have a look at that as well. Ray, we are now here on our third type of siding on this home, and this is the Azek Exterior board and batten product.
The customer, again, this was a preference of hers to tie it in this front porch. She wants certain colors for everything. And this is what she wanted in board and batten. We're trying to look for the whole maintenance exterior of this house, maintenance free or close to it. So we went with Azek board and batten. 1x12 Paint Pro.
Got it.
So this is not composite, this is PVC. We bought this, and then this is a batten strip that will get Cortex plugs. And then the Cortex plugs go in like that, and then this is all gonna get coated. We coated it inside. When it comes to us, he's holding a piece now, it all comes this color. Now, we originally painted the smooth side, but I didn't like the smooth side. So we flipped it over, and this is called their Frontier side, and we painted their Frontier side. It's more of a brushed finish. The reason we did that is it goes well with the Azek siding that we put up, because that's a brush finish that we saw earlier.
You're coming off a wood look into a wood look.
Into a wood look, but it's all got that same brushed finished texture.
And the application of putting it up is just, you're hanging it up, you're hanging it with trim screws,
we use small trim head screws.
Yep.
And then we put a board and batten strip over it, and that's a Cortex screw. That will go in and get plugged to finish it. We bought a lot of Paint Pro here, and we flipped it over. And if you look at this, this is all the trim on this house, rakes, fascias, column wraps. This is the same product, but painted black.
Smooth side.
Smooth side.
Well, we're lucky to have Mark from Azek Exteriors with us. Mark, what about this application? I mean, the complement of using one type of siding on the other. Now we've got decking as siding as well, and then we're moving to board and batten. So Ray's using Paint Pro. That's going to allow him to give it the color he wants.
Absolutely.
Any issue with using the rough side versus the smooth side?
No, it's, you know, we manufacture this so that it's reversible, so whatever your preference or design options
So this
that you're
texture
looking
is
for.
intentional if you wanted that look.
Absolutely. So
And taking the paint is no different?
one of the benefits of Paint Pro when it comes to different PVC products is that we really formulate it to take paint better than any other substrate out there. So from a PVC standpoint, it's by far the best product for painting applications. It takes paint, you know, much better, cures much quicker. This will dry to the touch in about 2 hours.
And do you have to prep the Paint Pro with a primer of some
it comes
sort?
ready to go as long as it's clean.
Any type of paint? Or do we have
you
to
want
use
to use, you know, depending upon the color, will require different types of paint, but you're using 100% acrylic latex paint. So no special paint in that sense, but you know, when utilizing colors like we've done here with black, you want to have a solar reflective coating because PVC still moves a little bit when it comes to temperature. And so, you know, a traditional black paint without that solar reflective coating, it just absorbs too much heat. So this type of paint that you guys have used here really reflects that heat gain and allows it to stay almost as cool as white. The one thing you really need to consider when painting PVC, especially dark colors, is how you manage that. And so you guys have chosen all the right paints here, and Paint Pro is the right substrate for that.
Seems like it's even easier than wood, where if we don't have to prime it, we can go right to it with the paint.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
and it's going to bond up nice, and then we treat it the same way as we would otherwise.
because there's no moisture absorption in PVC, which is really what causes paint to fail. The longevity of that paint in the maintenance cycle is so much longer than what you'd expect on wood because you've got that moisture in the wood that pushes the paint off, which you're not going to experience here with PVC. Yeah.
How about the application now? So boards go up. Ray explained he's using these finish screws, batten strips over the top of that. They come ordered to size.
So we make a 1x2 and a 1x3 batten strip. You guys have utilized the 1x2 application. And so one of the things that I really like about this particular application is the fact that you're not going to have any visible fasteners. You know, we've got small trim head screws that have fastened your 1x12 to the wall, and then the batten strips are going to conceal that and be finished with a screw and a plug, as Ray mentioned. Once those get painted a finished coat, they're going to completely disappear.
We can already see right next to you that they've started that process where that's
and so
going
you'll have
away.
a completely, you know, blind fastened siding application, which is really, you know, something that people are looking for these days, you know?
No, it goes right away. And if we come down here, Ray, it looks like we can see how the complement of the wood grain coming off of the TimberTech decking right up
if you look right there,
into the board.
You can catch that grain. That with this brushed grain finish. That was what we were trying to get. Smooth wouldn't have looked as good against this finish, so we opted to put the frontier finish.
Now I like how the horizontal comes into the vertical and sets up that
Right, we didn't
dynamic
use a
off the
corner
front.
inside corner board. We fit this one in, and then we're gonna put a batten strip right here, and there's no like traditional inside corner or anything like this. This is just a clean look
Right
into
to
it. We'll come through after everything's done. We'll vacuum sweep everything, and then the painter will come through and everything will get rolled and brushed out. And if it needs a third coat, we'll put it on, but I think the coverage-wise, I think we're gonna be fine with 2 coats. We take all the plugs, even the black ones, they're collated white plugs, and we put them down, and then we roll the paint over the collated plugs and let them dry, and then come out and put them in. That's why the plugs already are brown, so you don't have to hit them twice.
You're plugging them in one shot, already painted. Same with the black trim up here.
black.
Guys, I tell you what, this is gonna be a cool looking job when it's all done. I can't wait when everything's finished and we come back and get around this whole house and see all the different sidings come together and finish this up. All right, Ray, we're back again. Not quite all the way finished, but boy, it's really shaping up nice.
Yeah, we have a few little things to do. All the black Paint Pro trim's been done. We added a Paint Pro skirt board along the bottom. You just got to plug it. Down near the ground, the Azek doesn't rot. We don't have any problems with it.
Yeah, that's a nice feature. You can get it right down as close to the ground as you want.
Nobody has to worry about anything that way, rots or insects. And
the Tando siding, boy, I mean, there's no way that you wouldn't know that that was synthetic material.
No, and this is our first time using their series. We use a ton of the other series, like in the Atlantica colors, and it looks more like a weathered shingle. So this is our first time using their rustic series. It's got a very different look to it, but I got to tell you, when we're all said and done, and stand back a little bit and you're like, wow, it really pops. Especially, I like the grain and the texture to it. It really stands.
Yeah, the last time we were here, we were watching them put up. It goes up so fast, and when you stand back, there's a lot of times with a synthetic material, you'll see a repeat pattern in something like in flooring or certain types of siding. You don't get that here.
No, we don't.
They do a real good job making it so that it looks like a true rustic
Right,
shape.
and then we use the corner wrap. So if you look at the corner over there, the corner is just the shingle itself on the corner, so there's no corner board involved. Like when we do a weave with red cedar shingles, one shingle, the other shingle, cut it, plane it, make it right, finish nails. Next one,
and that's just one section.
Next one is the reverse. That one went up 5 pieces at a time. You stop short, you put those on, and you're done.
So this is our deck, but vertical. All finished up, looks great. I mean, you stand out at the road and you look at this, the statement that these horizontal lines make really is impressive. All up and in, I see no fasteners, again.
We hid the whole thing with Cortex screws, and we just rinsed it off, and you'll see the water beating up, but then you'll see where the water came out the back. That's because behind this, when you saw us installing it, we used black flat wrap, self-adhering from Benjamin Obdyke, and then we used their plastic mull strip so that there's a space behind this so that everything can drain out, and that way there we can keep the building and the back of everything dry.
And that's the other great thing about this is going forward, maintenance-wise, there's nothing to do but occasionally do what you just did and hose the thing down.
Right, you would take a hose, you would wash it. I mean, the whole house will fall into that series because Paint Pro trim, everywhere there's black on this house is all Paint Pro trim. Columns wrapped in it. Then this becomes the board and batten. This is all Paint Pro by Azek. Everything blends into this. The whole outside of this house is now virtually maintenance free.
So fantastic. Yet from the road, you think it's wood cladding all the way around. From the cedar shakes to the TimberTech decking to the board and batten, we think we got wood on this house.
This house makes a statement from the road, and there's been more than enough neighbors that come by and go, what are you doing?
The finished look of this with the wood finish and the wood texture to complement the horizontal with the black Anderson windows. It really shaped up nice, Ray. You guys did an awesome job on this project.
I really like the decking as cladding. I got to find a few more houses that we can push that, because that, not a lot of guys have done it around here. I don't know anybody that has.
Yeah.
But I mean, and there may have been somebody, but I would love to get more into doing this.
I mean, decks by Jalex, you guys know decks very well, and it's not that far-fetched that a deck expert wouldn't see the vision of getting decking on the side of a house, and man, did it work.
What other siding has a 50-year stain and fade warranty?
Right, none.
None.
Ah, fantastic.
So that's one of the biggest pluses.
Well, that about does it for this episode of Breaking Ground. Special thanks to our friends Decks by Jalex for allowing us on this job site today and teaching us how they went about this project. Also, a special shout out to Tando, to Azek, TimberTech Decking, Benjamin Obdyke. We appreciate the efforts that you put into the great solutions to problem solving on the job here today. If you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. And until next time, I'm Tom with Arnold Lumber. Thanks for watching Breaking Ground. We'll see you next time.